Hey everyone, Felipe here. Welcome to another Tower of Saviors card review video. In this video, I'll be taking a look at all 3 Jackpot cards of the new seal, Heroes of Dimension. In my opinion, this seal comes at a very unfortunate time because all 3 Jackpot cards are God leaders, and Matt had just released a new OP Black Gold card, Tsuyo, which is also a God leader. So if you have Tsuyo, you might not be as interested in this seal, but if you didn't get lucky and you don't have Tsuyo, then you might be interested in this seal. However, I'm here to review these cards and let you know whether you should pull for them or you should skip for the next upcoming patch. Taking a look at the first Jackpot card, we have Philira, the author's Muse. This is a Fire God card and the following leader skill. Attack of the monsters of Heroes of Dimension and God members gets multiplied by 7. Fire, Light, and Dark HP and Recovery gets multiplied by 1.5, and you get a ×2 additional attack multiplier by dissolving all runes in any row in the first batch, and when 6 or more combos are made, your team attack also increases by ×2 additionally. In my opinion, she has a pretty high attack multiplier, ×7, ×2, ×2. However, the 2 conditions in order to trigger that ×2 attack multiplier, they're actually pretty good or pretty easy to hit because you only need to dissolve all the runes in any row. It just has to be one row. That's pretty easy in my opinion, and being able to hit 6 combos is also, in my opinion, really easy. The only problem that I see here is that if you have a lot of board debuffs like Sticky Rune, Sticky Trail, Burning Runes, a lot of weather runes, it might make it hard to hit the 2 conditions at the same time, because it will make it hard for you to dissolve a full row or get 6 or more combos. That being said, let's take a look at the team skill, and you will see that her conditions are not that hard to hit. For her team skills, we have all runes possess the effect of Fire, Light, and Dark runes. Fire runes also possess 50% effect of Heart runes, and runes can be dissolved by aligning 3 or more of them in the first batch. So the first 2 team skills are just your traditional runestone possession effect. The first one gears you up more to build a Fire, Light, and Dark team, Mono Fire or Fire, Light, and Dark, especially because she also has the HP and recovery boost for Fire, Light, and Dark members. For the second team skill, possessing 50% of Heart runes is also very nice because healing without needing Heart runes is also really good and can save you in a lot of stages. The third effect, this is going to allow you to hit your 6 combo requirement much more easily because dissolving runes by aligning 3 or more of them in the first batch allows you to hit higher combos and make it easier for you to spin. For the fourth team skill, we have damage reflecting from enemies -90%. This is very situational, but it will be a really good bonus, especially if you mess up your spinning and you accidentally trigger an attack reflection from the enemy. For the fifth skill, this is going to be busted, in my opinion. By dissolving one group of 5 or more runes in a row, skill CD of Heroes of Dimension gets reduced by 1. 1 CD reduction is already pretty good. However, the way I read this, if you, by dissolving one group of 5 runes in a row, skill CD reduces by 1. So what happens if you dissolve 2 rows or 3 rows? I think the way I'm reading it, you're able to decrease your CD by 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, depending on how many groups of 5 in an individual row you dissolve. If this is true, you are able to activate Heroes of Dimension's active skills in just one round, because all of them are CD5 for the most part. And this means that you're able to trigger the 6th team skill where you get an additional effect by swiping left or right, and this will allow you to deal more damage and also break more enemy shields, because having active skills ready really soon is going to be really powerful. However, just by looking at this, I don't know, and we have to wait until the card is officially released in order to be able to reach that conclusion. But even then, a CD -1 is going to be really good, because being able to activate your skills faster will always be beneficial to you. For the 6th team skill, we have a Chronos Gate special. Whenever you activate a skill that makes you swipe to the left or to the right to remove runes, you get an additional effect. For Philira, swiping to the left will extend your runestone movement time to 12 seconds, which is really nice. It will allow you to get those rows easily, and also get your CD reduction and your attack multiplier to the max amount just by increasing your runestone movement time. If you swipe to the right, you get a 2.2 attack multiplier, and damage will be regardless of defense. And this is going to be a really good burst option, increases your attack and also ignores your enemy's defense. Yeah, additionally, a lot of cards from the Heroes of Dimension seal will allow you to swipe more than once. So if you swipe once to the left and once to the right, you can trigger both skills at the same time. Yeah, like taking a look at the active skills, we have CD5 skill, where you turn the column below Chronos Gate monsters and god members into enchanted runes. This is just an enchantment. There is no conversion or production of attacking runes. This just enchants your entire board, which will be really good for enchanted Quintet Elemental Shield or cards that reset your board and have enchanted shield. Additionally, for 2 rounds, combo count increases to +6, combo and EX combo, and the first batch to be dropped will be Raise Runes of the monster's attribute of Chronos Gate monsters. So this active skill is a little bit more tailored towards the Chronos Gate monsters, but the key part is that it increases your combo by 6. This means that you are already satisfying the second condition of her leader skill, and it will increase your attack without having to do much, or without having to spin a lot. And because runes can be dissolved in groups of 3, you will be able to dissolve a lot of your board, and you get a good first batch of attacking runes if you have enough Chronos Gate monsters in your team. Yeah, so this active skill is not bad. CD5 is pretty fast, and if you pair it up with the CD reduction, it's going to be even better. For the second active skill, it's also CD5. You select and swipe to remove 3 rows of runes, and for 2 rounds, sticky runes will be nullified. This is pretty standard for the Chronos Gate, or pretty basic, pretty simple, I mean. You select and swipe to remove 3 rows, activate your passive team skill effects, and also ignore sticky runes. Philira cannot ignore sticky runes, and it's going to be one of your biggest obstacles in order to get your 6 combo and also your full rows of runes. So being able to ignore sticky runes is also going to be really good. So as a leader, I think Philira is pretty good, especially with that CD reduction. If it allows you to reduce your CD by more than 1 every round, as long as you dissolve several rows at once. Her attack multiplier is also pretty standard, pretty good. I think she will hold up to the meta. But overall, I think Tsuyo will still overshadow her just because she is a fire god and shares the same attribute as Tsuyo. As a member, I think her second active skill is going to be pretty useful for any team that doesn't have a sticky rune ignore team skill. So it will be situational because CD5 sticky rune ignoring is pretty useful. So as a member, I think that's going to be good. Increasing your combo count by 6 at CD5 is also really useful, especially if you encounter those high combo enemies and you're running a team that doesn't increase their combo a lot. It's also going to be good as a member. So as a leader, I think she's decent, and as a member, I also think she's decent. How does she compare to Tsuyo? I think she is overshadowed by Tsuyo, but if you don't have Tsuyo, I think this is a good fire god leader to have. So moving on, let's take a look at the second Jackpot card. We have Angel of Doom Lucifer. This is a dark god and the following leader skill. Gods, demons, and elves attack gets increased by 6, HP and recovery by 1.3. By dissolving 3 types of runes, attack times 2 additionally. And when HP is not full, team attack times 3.5 additionally. And by dissolving dark runes, team attack times 1.5 additionally. So just looking at these numbers, his attack multiplier, if you hit all the conditions, will be higher than Philira. That being said, it is kind of hard to not have full HP when you have recovery boosts in your team. But he has an active skill that will help with this. But keeping your HP below full is usually kind of hard, especially if you have good recovery like he does. So chances are that 3.5, that you'll have to put in some effort to get your HP not full in order to get that 3.5 team attack additionally. But just by looking at it, his numbers are going to be higher than Philira. Let's take a look at the team skill. After entering a stage and at the end of each round, turn the column below the leader into Enchanted Dark and Enchanted God runes. Enchanted Dark God and Enchanted Heart God runestones. This is pretty good. It gives you race runes, enchanted race runes, as well as dark runes in order to trigger your 1.5 attack multiplier from your leader skill. Dark and Heart runes also possess 50 effect of each other, or of other runes, which enables you to attack or run a rainbow team as well. It doesn't lock you to any dark team, it allows you to run multiple attributes in the team. So the second team skill will allow you to provide attacking runes to your other members. For the third effect, skill CD of the leader -8 after entering the stage. This is really good as long as you don't encounter a CD reset in the first round. His active skill is 8, and this means that his active skill will be ready from the get-go already. The fourth team skill is the Chronos Gate special about swiping to the left and swiping to the right. When swiping to the left, the enemy's attack gets weakened by 60% for 1 round, and when swiping to the right, your recovery becomes 0, team attack gets multiplied by 2, and the leader launches an extra light attack. So this is going to be really good because well, the swiping left effect is good because it allows you to weaken the enemy's attack. This is not a defensive skill, so defense break or phantom attacks that ignore your defense are still weakened by this attack. So you can survive better and also survive hits that you were not supposed to survive as long as you reduce the enemy's attack. However, for the swiping right, I feel like this one is going to be the core of Lucifer's gameplay, because if you lower your recovery to 0 and your HP is not full, you can keep your HP at that point without having to recover, and that means that you'll be able to hit the 3.5 team attack boost from his leader skill more easily if you're not at full HP. And if you lower the enemy's attack, that also increases your survivability, and you also increase your attack by 2 and launch a light attack. So you're launching 2 attacks every round just by this swiping to the right. So overall, as a leader, I think he is going to be a little bit more fun to play than Philira. There are a little bit more conditions, but in my opinion, these conditions make him more interesting to play as. It will require some planning, just to make sure that the enemy doesn't kill you, but you're also not at full HP. But yeah, now let's take a look at the active skills. We have CD8 active skill, deplete 10% of your current HP upon skill activation. This is really good because that means that you can lower your HP to not full in 1 round if your HP is full and get the max amount of damage that you can from him as a leader. For 1 round, the monster's attack times 8. Damage will be dealt of defense just for the monster. And if an enemy is defeated, the number of rounds with the skill staying in play will not reduce. So as long as you kill every enemy every single round, this effect will be continuously active every round. And times 8 self-attack increase is going to be really good. It's a really good burst option. And if you have the swiping right effect from his team skill, you launch 2 attacks, which means that you'll be killing a lot of things with these 2 attacks and keeping your active skill active as well. For the second active skill, we have a CD6 effect where you remove 2 rows of runestones and burning will be nullified. Pretty simple active skill, pretty good, but it also allows you to trigger that swiping team skill. So yeah, overall I think I'm excited about Lucifer. He looks pretty fun to play. He has really high multiplier numbers and a really cool mechanic where if your HP is not full, his attack is going to increase. As a leader, I think he's going to be pretty useful, pretty good to play as. As a member, he is a really good burst option just because of the ×8 attack increase and the defense break. But yeah, no, he will fit really well in dark teams. Especially we have Enkidu, we have Dark Greek gods, we also have Baal for mono dark teams. So having a ×8 increase will make him a pretty good burst option. He will be a little bit weaker than Ed, but he will also allow you to break defense as well as ignore burning runes with his second active skill. So in my opinion, Lucifer is a pretty good card, pretty good leader as well. Moving on to the last Jackpot card, we have Angel of Distortion Azazel. Her leader skill is, she is a light god, and her leader skill is gods, demons, and elves attack times 6.5, HP and recovery gets multiplied by 1.3, attack times 2 by dissolving 3 types of runes, and by dissolving race runes, attack times 2 additionally. By dissolving light runes, team attack times 5 additionally. So, her leader skill is very similar to Lucifer, it's just that she will have a lower multiplier and doesn't have the HP requirement. So this is going to be a more stable type of leader. If you don't want to deal with the HP manipulation, then you can just play Azazel and you have a flatter attack multiplier and more stable. Looking at her team skill, basically the first team skill is the same as Lucifer. The column below the leader will be turned into Enchanted Light and Enchanted Hard God runes, which allows you to trigger their leader skills conditions. Lighter hard runes also possess 50 effect of other runes, which allows you to run a rainbow team. When HP is full, damage received minus 70%. So Azazel is going to be a more defensive leader, more stable attack multiplier, but you also take less damage from enemies. That being said, if you get hit by a phantom enemy that ignores damage reduction, she will not be able to do anything to them. For the fourth team skill, we have the Chronos Gate special, swiping left or swiping right. When you swipe to the left, you recover 20,000 HP. Team recovery gets increased to 2.5 for 1 round. And when you swipe to the right, team attack times 2, and the damage of the team will be dealt regardless of Quintet Elemental Shield. In my opinion, recovering the HP is going to be good. Recovery times 2.5 is also really good. This will be an amazing team skill against overheal enemies. But other than that, I think her team skill is a little bit weaker than the other two cards. She is designed to be a defensive option, so her attack is not as high, but she does have tankiness by defense and recovering HP every round. Ignoring Quintet Elemental Shield can be good, but you can also bring a craft instead of that and just run a higher attack multiplier. Taking a look at her active skills, we have a CD3 active skill, which is really short, really good for her. For 1 round, the more accumulated rounds, the more enchanted god runes to be turned into to the max of 30 runes. Runestones of members' attributes and non-race will rank in priority, and for every race rune dissolved in the first batch, 1 light rune will be generated. Basically, this is going to provide you with a bunch of attacking runes. I think we don't really know what the accumulation is. We just know the max is 30, but we don't know what the max number of rounds is. But the fact that you can activate it at CD3 makes it pretty useful to generate attacking runes. And you get a second batch for every race rune that is dissolved in the first batch. So as long as you dissolve, you can basically get double combos by dissolving just race runes, since you will generate 1 enchanted light rune for every race rune. For the second effect, we're going to have the swiping effect. We swipe 2 rows of runestones away and we recover 60% of HP. And if there's a monster, if the leader is a monster of Heroes of Dimensions, CD of all enemies will be delayed by 1 round. This is going to be really useful, especially nowadays. Madhead has been introducing a lot of cards that lock your recovery and brings it down to really low levels and doesn't allow you to recover. So recovering 60% of your HP is usually really good for these type of enemies. But the part that I like about this skill is that delays all enemies by 1 round. Normally, skills that delay your enemies are longer, like CD8, CD9. So having a CD5 skill that delays all enemies is going to be really, really good. So in my opinion, Azazel is not great as a leader, but she will be really good as a member for the other 2 cards in the game, or in this seal. Especially because for Philira, you can delay enemies faster since she has a CD reduction. And for Azazel, you can recover 60% of your HP without having to, even if you trigger your recovery set to 0 team skill. But yeah, overall for the Jackpot cards, I think this is a pretty interesting mechanic that they're introducing with the Chronos Gate seal. The whole swiping to remove columns is going to be very nostalgic of Chronos Gate, and I am glad that they added that to the game. That being said, their team skills are pretty useful. They seem fun to play. However, they are going to get overshadowed by Tsuyo. And also, the patch after this is going to be this Demon Slayer patch. So, what do I think? Should you pull or not? So, in terms of leader skills, their skills are pretty high. They're pretty good and they'll be really fun to play. However, they are not broken. They are not broken. Period. So if you already have Tsuyo, I encourage you to skip the seal and save your diamonds, because anything that they can do, Tsuyo can also do as well. So any stage that Madhead introduces that's more tailored to these 3 Jackpot leaders, you're able to beat with Tsuyo as well. If you don't have Tsuyo, should you pull this seal or not? I'll just say, if you want to pull, go ahead and pull. But keep in mind that Demon Slayer collaboration is coming up in the next update, so you might want to save your diamonds for that. This Chronos Gate collaboration is not a collaboration, it's a Madhead original, so that means that these cards will be able to come back in the future, while collaboration seals like Demon Slayer, Full Metal Alchemist, they tend to just be a one-time thing. So my opinion is that I would save my diamonds for the next collaboration seal, but only pull if you like the art, if you like the playstyle. But if you're interested in something that will only come once, I would save your diamonds for the Demon Slayer collaboration. In my opinion, these cards are really good as leaders. However, they are not broken and they will be easily substituted by the collaboration seal or by the black gold card that just came out. But yeah, as members, they're pretty good as well. My ranking will be, so this is my personal ranking. I think just by reading these skills, this is the rank I would give them. Lucifer will go first just because he has the highest attack multiplier as well as team skills that allow him to manipulate his HP. Philira will be second. Her leader skill and the CD reduction will make her also really interesting to play, especially if you can reduce your CD by more than 1 every round by swiping more rows or by dissolving more rows. That will allow you to activate skills faster and swipe more, make it feel like it's Chronos Gate again. And lastly, I think the last option will be Azazel, just because her leader skill, the attack multipliers are lower. She's more of a defensive type and I'm more of a unga bunga, let's kill everything. But keep in mind that you can also run her as an ally with Lucifer, so you can still get an advantage of her, just if you use her as an ally instead of as a leader. But yeah, that's all I have for these cards. So overall, I think there are really good leader skills. However, they are overshadowed by Tsuyo, and there is a collaboration patch coming up right after this Chronos Gate update. So in terms of saving diamonds, I would save my diamonds for the collaboration patch if you're a free-to-play, since collaborations only come once and they will not come back because of contracts and stuff. And this seal is a Mad Hero original, so it will come back at some point in the future. But yeah, that's all I have for these Jackpot cards. I know it's a really long video, so thank you all for sticking with me to the end. And as always, please let me know in the comments if I missed anything or if I said anything wrong. Any feedback will be highly appreciated. As always, stay tuned on my YouTube channel for more card reviews, more Tower of Saviors content, and stay safe, take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye everyone!